Just going to do a cute little bit of illustration before I go to bed. Probably been wondering what I've been doing with most of my time. Just been keeping myself busy, working like crazy, and all that fun stuff. And let's see, what should I get? Just kind of like currently at work, looking up a few things. I haven't seen anyone do it. I haven't seen this guy do a "Don't Laugh" challenge in a long time. I don't think he is. Okay.
Trying to put the water on Mars to good use, as the rover needs a clean.
And if you're interested in what I'm watching, I'm listening to Markiplier right now.
And now it's my favorite game. Oh. Ah! 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 What? Oh my god. I never in a million years did I think that the first game, well, not the first game obviously, but a game that would take me to the surface of Mars would be Power Wash Simulator. I love this game. It is amazing. It might be the greatest game ever made. The X-ray spectrometer? The X-ray spectrometer! Oh! 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 I'm washing the X-ray spectrometer's drill. Oh, the rock analyzer. Oh! I'm washing you. The drill is clean. Oh my god, I've never been happier. I've legitimately never been happier. There's no point in my life that has ever been happier than I am right now. I only wish to clean you. Why are you green? What's green on you? Well, I suppose I'll figure out when I get to that part. But I want to clean this very methodically. It's not clean. It's not clean. Not yet, anyway. Oh, yeah. I gotta get on all the crevices. Good thing there's unlimited water here. Oh, yeah. I have never been happier. Alright, let's get a... Yeah, slight angle on this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get that Martian dust off of there. Someday I'll be on you. You know, I've said this before, but I don't think people actually believe me. If there was a volunteer program to go to Mars for, like, a colonist or something, even if the chance of death was, like, 99%, I would be first in line. Or if I wasn't first in line, I would fight for first in line. I would be in line no matter what. I would volunteer in a heartbeat. But this is combining several very satisfying things to me. Power washing is satisfying. I do like that. On the Redacted channel, we did have a bit of a power washing adventure, but also just this is just truly a delight. I think I can do a wider. I can do, yeah. The sound is good too. Nice and loud, girthy. Some good sounds. Oh, how am I breathing, by the way? It don't matter. I'm on Mars. I hope this thing is weatherproof. I don't know if they designed it to be waterproof, considering that it doesn't rain on Mars, but, you know, who knows? It's got to be somewhat environmentally sealed, I suppose. I don't know. They built this thing Tonka tough, so I'm assuming that it's pretty good. Oh, oh, oh. Masked camera. Oh, I'm really knocking them out now. Oh, oh. It really does it a good job, Lee. Unlike how I said those words, this does do it a good job, Lee. I'm okay. My brain cells are probably dying from the lack of oxygen in this planet because clearly there's no air here. But honestly, if I have to die and make the last thing I do wash this rover, it will have been a good death and it will have been a good life. I keep thinking there's like an animal on the ground, but it's just you. I will clean you too, but it seems like your rotors are probably dusting yourself off. If you didn't know they flew a helicopter on Mars, you better have known that. It also wouldn't be this bright, I don't think. I love it! And oh yeah, get in there. Oh, get in there. Oh yeah, get in there. Woo-wee! We are looking good. Why is tire spelled with a Y? You know what? You do whatever you want, Rovy. What if I get a different... Ooh, long extension. Oh, hell yeah. For the real power. I don't know what the difference is. I love the clackety-clack. Oh, yeah, the Swirlo! Oh, this is what I was looking for. Oh, hell yeah, the Swirlo. Get you. I'll get you. You want some too? You want some too? I'll wash you. Fine. Yeah, the Swirlo is really what's gonna get the things like in the nooks. In all the nooks and the tiny devices. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There we go. Now we're really getting it. This is unbelievably satisfying. It says 87% clean, so I must be missing something pretty significant. Like I would think anyway. Because it really seems like there's more here. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm getting the tippy tops of those. Yeah, getting the top side of everything. Oh, the low gravity, baby. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to tell what's wet and what's dirty. Well, that was dirty, apparently. I don't think I'm going to be able to get down. Unless I can go prone, which I would love to be able to be full tactical on this and go prone. But I don't think that's an option. Man, this is great. Okay, cleaning liquids. I don't have any cleaning liquids. I just have water. Weird. Let me go full... Let me try to get as much coverage as possible. I don't know what I'm missing exactly. Is it a thing where like only certain amount of pressure can clean certain things and there's just like some things in here that are too gunked up to get off with a wide nozzle? It doesn't seem like it. I mean, maybe it is a thing where I just have to get this frickin' get you. Come here, you. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, you're coming over here? Okay, good, good. I'll be here too. Somewhere. Okay. Ah, I was gonna get you. Alright, I can't watch you. I mean, it looks pretty done. At least it looks pretty. I can't see any dirt here. It really doesn't look like it. I don't know if there's like a list of, you know... Okay, here we go. Sensors. Oh. Hatch? Is this openable? Can you open this? Hatch? Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then... wheel hubs and hatch. So there's a way to open it, apparently. I don't see hatch. 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 I might just be big stupid, you know? It says wheel hubs. I know it's got to be this one back here. But there's like only certain angles that I can approach it at. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's good enough. I don't know where the hatch is, but I got pretty much everything, so... That was delightful. That was great. But now I need to actually...
Hey, Garfield Chan, how are you doing today?
I need to make
Ooh,
money.
let me get my...
Let's start off with a wide, and then we'll get to the details.
Oh, I realized I just don't have a... Here, add one more thing to comment about. I haven't really seen this.
Oh, yeah. Look at that, baby.
Markiplier.
Shine! Look at that thing!
It's been a hot minute since I've been here.
It's like it was never horribly
So what have you been up to?
abused, like some van that I don't know. Don't know what you're talking about, everybody. Hey, whatever. It's okay. I love taking care of things like this. Ooh, saw my dream RV at the auctions. All creamy like a toffee pie on wheels. That's really weird. I don't know whether to drive it or lick it. Again, really weird. Who is talking to me? Are these the voices in my head that I need to ignore, or is this something more concerning? Unfortunately, it sold for a crazy amount, but the dream lives on. That's great, whoever you are. I'm just giving it a quick once-over rinse, and then I'll go in for the details. Eventually, I'll learn what are the harder things to clean, and I'll know to get those faster. Like the edges, I bet. There's definitely going to be a rhyme and a reason to this. Alright.
Hot minute since I've been here.
The life got me
This is
busy,
very
had to
nice.
do a couple things, but now I'm big
I'm
chillin'
not gonna
playing
lie.
Minecraft.
Oh, very cool.
God, I need that turbo nozzle.
How's
That's the real
so
deal.
Minecraft been treating well?
Whoa, I can jump! Oh my god, I can jump! Holy shit, I guess if you're in power washing, you gotta jump. Yep. Hoopus. Oh, look at the bird poop on this. Oh my god. Oh, hey, gnome. What the hell? There's a removal van outside my nightmare neighbor's place. They're finally going. Whoever moves in there is gonna need a quality pressure washer. Yeah, I'll get you in a second. I'm working on
What
my
did
own
you
stuff.
say?
You hush your face.
Oh, how's
Oh,
everything been
yeah.
going on with you?
Oh,
Anything
yeah.
exciting?
This is primal.
And you're playing
I
Minecraft.
think our ancestors used to have power washers. That's why this connects so deeply to my psyche. Ancient Koreans, you know, and their power washers. It was definitely a thing. This is a dream. God, who knew this game needed to exist? You gonna go with that business name, or do you need me to think some up? I'm phenomenal.
So yeah,
Brought up Grouting Thomas for
the
that
fun things I've been
conversation.
working on lately has just been doing a lot of comic book pages, and now I'm actually just drawing my own book. I'm actually about to get ready for my issue 4 to be ready, so I'm going to try to get some business in
The
that.
problem with the white one is it's too wide. It doesn't really get anything. It's probably better for.
At Amazon, we help people find a new career path. So whether that's in fields like healthcare, IT, and more, we're committed to training them for the future, wherever it may take them.
What do we do about the homeless? This is one of the most vexing public policy problems we face. If you live in a big city, especially on the West Coast, you literally face it every day. And every day it seems to get worse. Why? Let's start with a couple facts. First, the word itself is misleading. Homelessness is not primarily a housing problem, it's a human problem. The primary drivers of homelessness are drug addiction and mental illness. According to data from UCLA's California
My
Policy
brother
Lab,
bought the Doom Collector
approximately
game set
3/4
thing
of the
that comes
people
with
who
all
make
the Doom
cars
games
end
besides
up on the
Eternal.
streets,
Gonna be
suffer from
playing
serious
them for
mental
weeks.
illness,
Ooh, excited.
drug
Are you
addiction,
gonna do?
So I've been pretty good.
Second,
So you've been
despite
are you
these
gonna like do any
conditions,
streaming or
homeless
whatever?
actually make rational decisions about where they want to live. Not surprisingly, they move to the most permissive environment they can find. Make your city attractive for the homeless, and they'll beat a path to your doorway. The Venice Boulevard underpass on the border of Los Angeles and Culver City brings home this point. It's one of thousands of concrete structures in Los Angeles County, but there's a curious detail. The Los Angeles side is full of tents, and the Culver City side is empty. Why? Because the two cities have different public policies. Los Angeles has effectively
No, streaming ain't
decriminalized
my
public
thing.
camping and drug consumption,
Ah,
while Culver City enforces the law. This pattern, that the homeless go where the policy environment is the most permissive, can be seen up and down the West Coast. In San Francisco County, it's estimated that 30% of the homeless migrated there after becoming homeless somewhere else. In the city of Seattle, that number is 51%. The San Francisco Chronicle estimates that hundreds of homeless individuals move to the Bay Area each year because of the perception that it is a sanctuary for people who are unwilling to participate in programs designed to get them off and keep them off a life in the streets. At first glance, this would seem to make no sense. Why would an individual with no shelter or stable source of income move to one of the most expensive cities in the country? But in the world of the homeless, it makes perfect sense. That's because they operate under a different set of incentives than the average citizen. In a research survey of homeless migrants in Seattle,
let's get
58%
this
said
Prager
they plan to
University.
access homeless services.
Finishing than starting.
Have you seen Loki?
Anyway, so
I
I
haven't
just
seen Loki yet. Is it any good?
15 degree because that just allows me to get things good. Like just very, I have to be a little slower, but it's wide enough that it's more efficient, I think, than the red one. The red one's such a tight beam. It's good for like spots and tough patches, but overall, I still think it kind of takes longer. I think for bang for your buck and time efficiency, it's probably going to be the yellow nozzle, 15 degrees. There's probably some qualifications about distance and pressure, stuff like
But I
that.
haven't.
But it
But
seems
no,
like
I have not
the
seen Good
nozzle,
Loki
the
yet.
impact area gets bigger when you go farther away. So I think it's.
I haven't, but from I heard it's pretty good and has some cool Easter eggs.
One day I'll be
I heard.
able to afford a
I heard
turbo
apparently
nozzle.
like there
My
was a.
life's gonna
I've
change
heard. I heard Black
forever.
Widow's actually out
Yeah,
today.
windows seem to take a little bit more pressure, which is fine. I get it. Ease in there. Yeah, there we go. That's what we're talking about. Blast those crevices. And just a little bit left on the grill, I believe. Let me just getting some of it. Yeah, it's hard to tell. On some of these, it's just like I don't know where it is because I can't exactly see it. But this is the last piece, I know.
Yeah, I need
Hey!
to work
Oh,
on.
what else is
God,
left?
I need to work on my brushing. It's so
What's left?
shitty.
Ooh, window.
Oh, that came out already, dang.
Yep.
Window. Oh! Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, the
For
mirror.
me, it's
The
just like
mirrors.
it's
I
just
forgot
sort
about
of bizarre.
mirrors.
It's just sort of bizarre that
Of course.
they kill off their
Gotta have a
they
mirror.
kill off their best female protagonist and replace her with like
Sure.
some other one that
Okay.
I don't really care about.
It is particular about these details. Got it. Under the handles, of course. Gotta get the handles right. Nailed it. Is this extraordinary power of the extraordinary Dr. Power Wash? I got your details from friend Harper. You really do with a hand at my place when you're free. Oh, could you now? I cost money. Oh God, it shows a time lapse of your progress. Oh wow. Oh my goodness.
Now let's see if I can get.
I love that.
Let me see if
Pinged you
if
the
I get a
$100
better
left over
brush.
from what you gave me. That should help you get off the ground. I just met my new neighbor over the fence, grumbling about his dirty backyard, and give him a shout. Looks like you got your first customer. Clean the backyard. Oh my God, I get an outdoor thing. Oh man, I literally love this game. I can't. I literally can't say how much I love this game. It's fantastic. Oops, sorry. I
I
didn't mean to
saw
do
the
that.
trailer and it
I'll
looked
make this
just
a little
like
bit
a
more
generic
carefully.
superhero movie, and I don't really care about Black Widow.
Uh,
I'm just gonna go.
yeah, for me it's like I mean I like Black Widow much more because I grew up. I mean I grew up watching her stuff, but then it just like it's sort.
Blast.
But then just like the way they treat her at the
Yeah,
end
it is
just like kind of
distance pressure, so
sucks.
you do need something. So really, there's no easy way to do this, right? There's no easy. It all takes time. I might as well just use the yellow. I mean, actually, green did work. Ah, no. Yellow's the only way to go. Because you got to do it carefully anyway, because otherwise you'll be in a situation like I'm in right now where there's like a tiny, tiny sliver left and I don't know where there it is. So I might as well just do it methodically and carefully. Very carefully, very methodically. It's the only way to do it. Could I do this as a career? Is this actually a career choice for me? Like, is this something that I could do with my life? Could have been a professional power washer. Is this what some people do in their lives? Because this has got to be very satisfying. Oh my goodness. Oh, the lawn edging. Oh, 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 oh my. Woo! 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 Oh, oh. Do I need to wash the gravel? I'll do it. Power wash my nose, please. You think they make a power wash neti pot? Really blast it out? Nice. Nice money. 50 cents per
How's
rock.
about
Not
you?
bad.
How's the life treating
Not
ya?
bad.
So far
Might
it's
as well
treating
do it
me
right the
good.
first time.
Just
That's what
been
my dad taught me.
just
Don't
kind of focused
half-ass it.
myself on like
You
doing
gotta find an easy way out.
some inking, working on here, working there.
Exactly
I just
right.
got it
Needs to
back
be
to
done.
working on my boss's
Don't
comic book,
litter
and
it.
I'm trying to get this one
There's
done.
also this one which like
I'm actually
guarantees
going to
you
be going
everything.
into my
Everything from
first
anything.
convention
You just have to make sure
this
you do
year,
everything
which
perfectly.
has been a long time ago since I had done one. I'm going to be going down to the San Jose
No matter what.
Silicon Valley Comic Con.
This is where if I had the turbo nozzle, God, I
So I'll be
slew with it.
selling my next
Went
book and
around from that.
maybe
I'll never have it ever again.
start up a new
Why do
poster
I
for
go
that
buy
show.
it? Bet it costs $1,000 or something like that. It's a nozzle after all. Tiny piece of metal like that. Oh, you know it's expensive. Maybe I'm just looking at it tactically wrong. Maybe I need cleaner, but I don't have any cleaner. It's just right in the angle. Maybe the angle is important.
And then other than that,
This is barely
nothing too new.
dent, nor near
Nice.
Thought you could hide from me
I'm
back
gonna
here?
probably plan on
No
going.
way. Come
I'd
on.
like to get my
Make
plans
it
to hit
pop.
on the Bakersfield Comic Con and then the LA Comic Con,
That is what smart
and
people
then there's
think here,
Stockton Con, which is
hackers.
my
The true
family's
master uses all the
my
tools at
sister's
their
side.
disposal. Doesn't just relegate one tool for the job. No, no. There's a reason that I have different ones. And it's to absolutely give this the best clean that I possibly could. I'm trying to see where there's any spots, but I don't see spots. Probably because I wasn't methodical about it. Hey, there we go. Who says
Hello.
who needs methodical? Get
Oh,
ready, nerds. You're about to get
hello,
blasted.
Madalu.
Dun,
How you doing today?
and they're drowning. Oh, so sad. But at least they're clean. Oh, that looks bad. Anyway, I'll get to you in a second. I had just started to edge this and I got distracted.
Oh, that's
What
nice name.
happened here?
Good.
Is this a
How
mud
are you?
wrestling pit? What is this
I've
whole
been doing
thing?
good.
A
Just been
pond?
keep
No, no, no.
just
That's not what
working on
happened.
some comic book art and making my pages.
That was okay.
If you could see right now, I'm on the blue line stage where I actually I already
Anyway,
illustrated
there were some very
most of my
fun,
book,
very cool
and if
memories
you
happening
like
here,
to
but that's not
want to
my
get to know
job to
a little bit more
gather.
about that,
Florian
I'm
and I will
self-publishing a book
execute
about a superhero with
automatically
autism.
pretend we're
I
on
also been making a whole lot of
Mars
posters right
months
now.
later.
One of them is an idea
Only
where I'm
Mount Rushmore, huh?
going to do a
Okay,
Gravity
sure.
Fall
You
and
put your
Hilda
text toys in
crossover.
your kinky adventures. This is just a
I
joke,
actually have
ma'am.
the I
I
think I
will
have the
steer
book with me
clean.
just
That's all. That's
like
all I
where
care about. I don't know
what's
what
the
the
next
stains
on the
are.
next
Don't
part
ask.
if you want to see
Don't
that.
ask about stains. It just is what it is. What's up? You do bikes? I could do with someone running the thing over my deadbeat dirt bike. Yeah, just a second. Gotta take care of the mud wrestling pit.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and so other than that, I usually just go ahead and just chat with people while
I've
it's
now
at
made
this
a
time.
decision.
You know,
Red and green are for fools.
roughly do
Use
about like an
literally
hour.
just yellow and
And
What is
or
this
white and
green
green
in
are
the
for fools.
corner?
Yellow and red are the only tools you need.
which one?
Everything else is just a distraction from the truth. That's
The
what all power washers must
point which side?
come to eventually. The truth of the clean. You're gonna go through it anyway. You're gonna
I
go
mean, this
over
is
it
just
again and
a
again
Some
if you use any
game?
other tools.
oh
You'll
yeah,
overload it
somebody's
right the first time.
I'm
I'm
just
sorry I
streaming
didn't
someone
listen
else's
to the
thing.
Watering.
wishes of my father.
It's
He was right.
something called
I
Power Wash
just
Simulator.
gotta clean it. I'm gonna be going through all this again just because I didn't do it the first time. That is my curse.
You probably heard of Markiplier.
Because I'm an idiot. I think the reason that this
He's like the
movie
only
Haha.
dude so
he's like the
well
only
and are so
only
satisfying is
only
because
YouTuber that I
they're
actually
regarding
watch
me like a dream,
on here.
you know. Homeownership,
Yay.
Um,
domestication, all that stuff. Sure,
I
you
also
can build
been
a
checking out
wilderness survival simulator and
Lost
whatnot. Those
Pause,
are fine,
um,
sure.
Game Grumps,
Give me a
and a few
hose.
other little animations here and there.
Give me some powerful water. Give me strong water any day. I'll take it. That's what I need. That's what I want. That's what I yearn for. Some people yearn for the call of the wild. I yearn for the call of the water. Not the ocean though. Screw that. The powerful water. The true power of water. The ocean ain't the water's power. Nah, this is it. This is the water's true potential here. I'm back on the train that a true master uses all the tools at their disposal. But it's about using them correctly. That's the right way to go about it. That's what people really don't understand about this. The art form of the real power washing master. I have such a long way to go before I reach the road of mastership, but we are all students, just of different crafts. Is there anyone that speed runs this?
Ain't that the truth?
I just bet speed running power washing. Oh, I would watch that. I would. I will after I do this. I don't know if that's actually dirt or if it's just a shadow. It might just be a shadow that I'm fighting. Never mind.
Fucking A.
I'm dumb.
Here's what annoys me about the
Grammarly can
brush.
help you write
If you
quickly and
see,
confidently, so you never have to slow down at work. Instant corrections make your writing mistake-free, while keeping it short, sweet, and big in
here's what
detail.
is annoying me about this
Join
brush.
more
You
than
see,
20
there's a
million
little
people
split
who
in
use
there, and it's
Grammarly
kind
to
of
write
annoying me
code
right now.
every day. Go to Grammarly.com to download.
I always want to try these thin brushes, but they're
Sure
just
does make
not
us all
working
get
for me.
from smoking. Be prepared to spend a lot of time together. Just not the way either of you imagined.
The people you love are worth quitting for. You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
turns out I'm stupid. Just because I'm a learner of life
Joe
doesn't mean that
Hero.
makes me any smarter.
Yep.
There we go. This is so weird. This is so not like me.
And
I've never been this
yeah, Joe
meticulous
Hero
about
is
everything in a game.
is
Never
my
been
comic
super
book that I've been
grandiose
making.
about things. But for some reason,
Feel
this,
free to, if
like,
you like to read the books, feel free
I
to
am
go online or
so
just donate here, and I will just
I
like
am
immediately like send you a
pumped
copy.
about this. This is amazing. I
Some
love
people
it.
actually,
And I wanna
some people have donated
why do I want
just
to
for
do
the
this
sake of
though?
it, and
Why?
yeah, and just trying to figure out a way to how to make this stream much more entertaining.
I'm never gonna be able to find the
I mean,
spot
do you get
wall.
what do you guys do when you what do you guys do
Oh, never mind. I got
when
it
you want
because I'm
some
very
when you want to
methodical.
interact with
Apparently.
somebody?
Holy crap! I love it. Oh, I'm super addicted to this. It is bad. This is bad. Oh, this is bad. I got it bad. Oh no, this is gonna ruin my life. Oh guys, get ready for like a
I don't really
10-part
talk much
series
hot,
of
so I
this.
don't
Oh my
know.
god.
It's all good.
I've reached a point where I don't really have any like fascinating commentary to say about this. I mean, I will probably once I get more into the game, I'll have a lot of like weirdly specific gripes about cleaning. Like suddenly I'll be talking shop about cleaning things. And that's not me. I don't know why I would be doing that, but I can sense that I'm kind of getting in the direction of that. Like I've already started griping about not having my turbo nozzle, and I just
I
really
recently
could use my
started
turbo
streaming
nozzle
to
right now.
overcome that.
First thing I'm gonna go buy is my
Oh,
turbo
very cool.
nozzle. Because then I can get the power
What are you
of
trying to
having a
overcome?
distribution of at least like the 15 degree. It'll be like a 10 degree, but then I won't have to go through it again with the power. It'll just be power all the time and a little bit of coverage. You know what I mean? Gotta get the cracks. Lots of cracks and crevices here. Well, this thing got grimy. They let this thing go. How long were things back here in this backyard?
Stop
You know, a little
avoiding
preventative
people.
maintenance would do
Oh,
a long way. I mean, I'm fine. I like the job.
Haha.
You know, I get paid to do what I do,
it's all good.
and that's fine.
It's
Keep me in
it can
business. But
happen
at
a
the
lot.
same time, man, you gotta treat your tool right.
I'm notorious for doing that
Treat your
myself
tool
too.
right. These people just let things go to waste. They don't even barbecue, do they? I bet they don't. I bet they don't. That's good there. Oh, this toy car. What is this? A mini Tesla? Oh man, what happened to them? What happened to their kids? They go on vacation for a year? Is my kid okay? Oh god, horrible spiraling depression. Sure, that explains a lot. It made this whole power washing simulator go real dark. What was the game that like had weirdly dark things? Was it House Flipper? Which kind of reminds me of this game. It's not the same. I don't think it's the same publisher, but just like House Flipper, oddly enough, had like some strangely dark tones to it. Don't know why. There we go.
Oh yeah, one little thing I will let you guys do if you like. Feel free to just like jump in and share a video that you want to share a video that you want to watch, and we could actually watch it together. And basically, you might be able to see my reaction while I'm painting.
That's really the only natural conclusion to this. Like, I don't know how they got the NASA collab. That's pretty cool. Like, really awesome that they managed to get that, but it's like the horror. Where's the Outlast collab? You know, washing up all the blood from all the horror games. I mean, there was that game, Viscera Cleanup Detail, which was kind of like touching on the subject of, like, the aftermath of horrible alien invasions and whatnot. You know, just having to clean up all the bodies and stuff, that is kind of a reality of things. But, when is this going to mix with that? Oh, can you imagine power washing blood? Oh, that's got to be so satisfying. Talk about primal.
Would you be down to watch some guy eat a jellyfish? Ha!
Please, someone agree
Oh
with
my
me.
God, not
Let's
that
see.
again.
You agree with me, right?
We could go with
Let me
something
know
else
if
at
you want.
least.
Right? Is it?
I don't need to share that.
What? Face rolling on the floor laughing. Face rolling on the floor laughing. Face rolling on the floor laughing.
Stuff for these people are
Ugh.
doing. Oh, it's so
God, I
grody.
can't believe let me watch that.
Why is it?
Hmm?
It's immune to my blasts.
It's a good video, just give it a chance. Reading
Ugh.
emoji.
How are you immune to my blasts?
Oh, why is it Remoji? I think that's what it's called, but it's just like all that
You're not
stuff.
bothered by this at all? This game is suddenly terrible, completely unrealistic. If I can't power wash a cat, I am out. Is this Dirt Finder General guy Harper Shaw? Alleged dirt problem at a local playground? That's not the name of my business. Get the name of my business right, and then maybe we'll talk. I know that I've been recording probably a lot longer than you guys have seen, but just because I am thoroughly enjoying this, like, I am thoroughly enjoying this, like, damn, it's good. This is very good. Like, my God, It's good. I don't know if you get. I don't know if it's even translating and you guys seeing it, but this game is just. I love it. I kind of really actually love it. Unironically.
I
love
have come
this
across one
so
stream
much.
where one girl is drawing with feet.
Hop up here.
I
Oop, there we go.
really.
Hi,
I wonder
Karen.
how many. I wonder how much money
Don't
she's
mind
making.
me, which you haven't been. Even if I'm standing on you, you do provide me with some stability.
I wager $1 million, or at least 300.
Shed's done. Shed roof should be done. There's something I'm missing. Why aren't you clean? It says shed roof. There's a big spot missing. Is it because of this cat?
Disgusting
You
and
want it?
impressive.
You better not be on
Hmm.
it. You're ruining my day. You're ruining my day. You are ruining my day, aren't you? You're ruining my day. You little shit. You little piece of poop. How am I not done? How is this not done? I swear you're done.
She doesn't
What am
have
I
arms.
missing? Every nook, every cranny. It's so close enough.
Oh, well, that's a
Oh.
little bit.
Oh, just
That's a little bit
okay,
sad.
there we go. The tiny
I mean, it's like if she's just doing it for if she's just doing it for fun or something, I'll be like wondering why she's into that type of stuff. But now that you make it sound like that, it's like make me make it super depressing. I don't know if I don't know how I would feel like if I ever had to lose my hands. I don't know. Maybe go into like more massive depression or whatever.
Okay, almost done.
Let's see. No, I'm gonna change my brush to a number 1 brush, which is much bigger than usual, which is the Winsor Newton number 1. My my own brush that I always done.
It's sad. Maybe if we are born with disability, it's different kind of sad. But if we lose something eventually, then that's another level.
I don't know. For me,
You know what? I know I
I'd
asked
be
a
okay
lot.
with it.
I know.
I always thought
I've
about
been
myself, what
some
if
kind of
I
been
didn't have
doing something,
autism at
and
the
my
same
face
time?
hasn't probably been an
But at the
expression
same
of
time, it's
sad
just like,
joy, but
I
I am
don't
having an
I don't think
incredible
I
time.
can really
Like
indifference myself from
unrestrained
it that much.
compulsion to finish this. I very rarely. It feels like I'm working with my hands, which is usually the only situations where I get this kind of sensation. But it feels like I'm actually accomplishing something here. And I know that's the whole thing about games is like you feel like you're doing something, and it's like that maintaining that feeling is part of the whole appeal of video
Okay.
games. But just like it really actually feels like I'm doing something. But I will also
I
tell you,
mean, for me, it's like,
Did
I'd,
you trying brush?
my girls can't wait to
what
get
do you
out
mean?
there.
I've
Your
been
girls.
doing ink
Like
brush
my girls
before.
can
Like,
wait
I
to
had a
get
few
out there.
couple pages earlier.
All
I
right.
mean, most of the stuff that
Hey, 80% done.
most of the books that, if you ever bought one of my books, you could see what I'd done. I
I'm
mean,
getting excited because I know I
mostly all my
moved
stuff is done with
kind
ink
of hard
brush.
with this whole thing, and I can't wait to see the time lapse of this.
It's very
I thought
zen.
the van was
It's very
meticulous,
zen.
but that only took like 10 minutes. This has been like a 40, 45-minute adventure in this one. And I say adventure, and I mean adventure. Like this has been an adventure.
And so when I just like do all this stuff, what I'm doing right now is I'm just sort of like getting my big areas where I
That's real
know I can
forgiving
use
of
a
me
brush,
when you have a
while
lot
the
of
rest is
time.
going to be used with
Unlike
markers,
some
pens,
things, Shed.
and other stuff like that.
Oh my god, this umbrella. Oh, the parasol. Ooh. Fucking grody. Okay, don't mind my mad hops. Woo, done. It did not look done, but it was done. Apparently. And we are. What are we missing? What are we missing? Press all pole, okay? Press all pole. some. Okay. Okay.
So you wanna watch the jellyfish vid?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Give me something else to watch,
Okay. Okay.
please.
What was that? Lawn edging. Ooh. Something here I've missed. I don't know what. I don't see it.
What is this bug right here? I don't know if you can
Okay,
see
that's
him,
done.
but right there, you can see like a little bug just kind of like.
Missing stone. Stone. Lawn edging. Lawn edging. Lawn edging. Okay. Oh, swing shelf or roof. Ah, I didn't get the back. That was it. Okay. All right. Okay. That was it. Huh. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're finishing. Now we're getting it. There we go. Oh, not done. Pull, 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 pull. What else are we missing? What? What are we missing? Okay.
https://
control panel. Okay.
www.youtube.com/watch
Birdhouse
v
not. Nope,
equals
it's not done. I thought it was done.
g2qosgmekjs.
Okay,
I thought I
now
got
let's
this
see what
one.
we
Are
got.
you
Still lying
okay
in there.
with links?
I gotta drown him out.
Too late. I'm already watching your link. Let me just close this one up. And let's see, what is this? Cactus cake. Okay, I'll buy this.
Hey guys, it's Chef Jeff, and you know what? Today we're going to be making a cactus cake. Now you've all seen it. You've seen the hair cakes, you've seen the vomit cakes, and we thought, you know what? Let's put our own spin on it today. We're going to be making a cactus cake. So strap yourselves in tight. We're going to head off to the shops and go get some ingredients.
Okay, now I'm just gonna get on the next. I'll just get on the next page. Just get all the heavy. I mean, basically, what this part of the work is, it's not the. It's not to really get the small line. It's to actually just get all the big lines in first, and then I'll just get my pencil in and just go over them.
Guys, as I mentioned before, you do need a variety of cacti for this delicacy that we're making, and Jesus Christ, this is just beautiful. Chuck that in the box.
Looks like a
Making
penis.
some beautiful decoration pieces there. And then yeah, let's get. Oh, this one's only $40. We'll get this one as well. Chuck that in there. You know, as you can imagine, quite an expensive cake. Beautiful. Alright guys, we've gone and got all our ingredients. We're ready to go. It's time to get cooking. First things first, we've got to preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And yeah, just let that heat up for a little bit. Grease the cake pan. Next, you want to grab your mixing bowl. You're going to get your eggs. You're going to get your sugar. And you want to beat those up until they're nice and soft. Into the bowl. So after we've done that, you put a couple of eggs in there just for good measure. Beat it up until it's nice and soft. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Oh yeah! Time to taste test the egg, you know. Make sure it's tasty for the cake. Move your mixing bowl aside. Now you want to add the main ingredient, which is going to be cactus. All right, start with the big one. Ow! Fuck! Ah! Fuck! Ah! Ooh! All right, let's just get into it. Oh fuck! Ah! Ah! Fuck! Ah! Ow! Fuck! Yeah! Alright, now you got your cactus. You wanna just pop it up? cake decorations. They'll come in handy later on. But we're going to take the rest of this cactus just over to the blender. This is actually a key part of the process because this cake is going to need to be held together well. And for that, you're going to need a nice, strong, thick mixture of cactus juice. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Look at that! Would you look at these? Okay, that's looking beautiful.
Oh no 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 no! You
Delicious. On to the next step. You want to take that mixture, a nice juicy thick mixture.
oh
You're going to
please
pour it in
tell
there
me
with the eggs and the sugar that we've
did
heated
he
up
put the
earlier.
thorns in there?
1 cup of self-raising flour into the mix. Gonna mix that in. It's not quite groogy enough, so we are gonna actually need to add a little bit more flour to this mixture. Now that's coming along quite well. It's very groogy at this point. My God, it's actually fucking beautiful. We're gonna need it to be a little bit more groogy than this, so we are actually gonna just place that off to the side for now. Grab this big old cactus. Hey! Alright, we're just gonna roll this fucker out. Gonna roll out all the juices there. Okay, we're having a little bit of an issue there, but that's alright. Just keep going and focus on the task ahead of us, which is making the best cake known to man. Alright, it's been rolled up, now it's time to cut it up and add it to the mixture. Now that we've cut it up, we're gonna pour it into the mixture. It's beautiful, delicious. Absolutely fucking awesome.
Oh, they need.
You know, guys, when you're down, you're feeling alone and depressed at home. You know, a lot of us do feel that from time to time. Just remember, you know, your life isn't as bad as Jeff's. It can always be a lot worse. It can be sitting in your kitchen making a cactus cake to consume. So yeah, it's food for thought. But we've already had the oven preheating for quite a while now, and you stick it in there for approximately 50 to 60 minutes, about an hour. Let's pour that in. Now guys, remember, it is self-raising, so if the liquid doesn't quite fill to the top, that's fine. It's gonna raise there, you know. Whoa, it's piping hot. Okay. Let's leave that for an hour.
1 hour later.
Oh! Holy fucking shit! It's like a legitimate cake. We've made a cake. I mean, we didn't really expect for this to work, but here we are with an actual cake. It's just, holy fuck. Oh my God. It's a fucking cactus cake. Alright guys, I could not be happier with the progress of this cake so far, but now it's time to get onto the topping and really make this cake stand out. Oh man.
How's he gonna deal with the
Cream's
thorns?
actually melting upon impact on this delicious yet piping hot cake. Probably should have waited for it to cool down. Probably should have actually just waited for it to cool down, yeah. Alright, when you're making this at home, just make sure you actually don't put the cream on when it's piping hot, because as you can see, it's just fucking melting off the side. It's a nice cake that grandma can just, you know, cut up, have a slice over a nice cup of tea with her friends. And, you know, honestly, that's lovely. You're gonna open her up and have a look. Alright. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cut a nice fresh slice out here. I'm gonna plate it up. Who's got a plate? Oh, would you look at that? Wow.
Ugh.
Delicious. Like cucumber in glass. Cucumber in glass.
He's a predator, all right. A sociopath. We can work with that. The Crawleys have about 10 million berries, Captain. 10 million? Bad sentence hurts my brain.
Depression makes the week feel like 7 Mondays. Multiple symptoms? Let's rethink this. So your doctor tells you about Trintellix, a
prescription medicine for adults with a type of depression called major depressive disorder. Feeling this overall relief. Plus, Trintellix had no significant impact on weight in clinical trials.
Trintellix may increase suicidal thoughts and actions in people 24 and younger. Call a
Thoughts
doctor
on
right away
vid.
if you have these or new or worsening depression or new or sudden changes in mood, behavior,
Honestly,
thoughts, or feelings.
that
Take
does
advantage
sound.
now.
That actually does sound delicious if they actually did a real job on it, like a cactus cake.
Increased risk of bleeding may occur, especially if taken with aspirin,
It is like
insulin, inhibitors,
you
or
know,
painkillers. Manic episodes, eye problems, and low sodium levels can occur. Suddenly
as
stopping
if you
Trintellix
cleaned it
may
up,
cause side
it
effects.
actually sounds
Common
like a
side effects include
pretty
diarrhea,
interesting idea.
constipation, and vomiting. Some reports of weight gain have been received since product approval.
Feeling better, even on laundry day.
Ask your doctor about Trintellix.
Now the results.
You know, this cake is actually so green that by default it's actually vegan and healthy for you, in fact. So I'm happy with that. I'm just gonna get in there and enjoy myself a tasty meal. Okay, I found the eggshell. As you can see, there's a big piece of cactus right here, and oh, let's get that out of there. Let's have a bite. Oh, magnificent! Oh, so good, man. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I'm having a lot of trouble drinking it, so we're gonna just like fucking get this whole thing, and we're just gonna
Yeah, this
slam
is why I
it in
lose.
here, and we're gonna blend it all up.
It reminds me of How to Basic.
Cream! Cream! Oh yeah! So remember, folks, if you can't eat the cake, you can always blend it. Oh yeah! Chef just got smoothie! Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the show. Would you look at that?
He's friends with How to Basic and is shown in vids with him.
Huh. This liver and lungs must be stabbed by crazy.
You know what? We've got some merch, boys! When Done Dude got a t-shirt done up, and you know, if you want to keep seeing some fucked up videos, make sure you go and buy yourself a shirt. Well guys, in all seriousness, YouTube is fucking us out of all of our revenue, so if you want to support the channel, make sure you go buy a shirt. The link's going to be in the description and on the screen somewhere below. I really am impressed with the quality of the shirt. It's been through the wash
Search
a
up
few
hair
times.
cake,
It's
good
been
vid,
through
a
the
bit
fucking
gross
hell
but
of
good
that.
vid
You know
overall.
what? It's fucking awesome. So make sure you buy one. It is really
Eh.
going to help us. And the more money we
You know,
get for
let's do
these
How to
shirts,
Basic.
the more fucked videos we can make. So go click that fucking like button if you want a banana. Buy my merch. Buy my merch.
Thinking about going solar, but not sure whether it's worth it for your home? Well, before you get quotes, there are 3 things you need to know about going solar and one easy way to find them out. Number 1, you need to know how much solar you'll need to eliminate your electricity bill completely. 2, you need to know how much solar you can actually fit on your roof. And 3, you need to know what the ideal solar system will cost after federal, state, and utility incentives. In the past, to find out all this information, you had to get a solar installer in your area to examine your roof in person, but not anymore. Our unique solar calculator at solarestimate.org uses machine learning to scan your roof to tell you whether solar is worth it for your home. It will tell you how much electricity your roof can generate, how many solar panels you can actually fit on your roof, how much you can reduce your monthly electricity bill with solar based on your utility's pricing plans, and the magic number every homeowner wants solar calculator does all this. Now, if the payback on solar is better than other low-risk options like paying off your mortgage, then solar makes a lot of sense. The typical payback time for solar is under 10 years, making it a no-brainer given the historically low interest rates we have at the moment. So to find out if solar is worth it, test your home with America's most accurate solar calculator by clicking on the link below. Now, you may already know that solar is worth it and just want to find out how much solar will cost after all the incentives. Well, the reason our estimates are so accurate is because we use the actual cost of installation from thousands of similar solar systems near you to hone our estimates. Using this data, we found the best solar deals being offered from reputable installers we vetted using over 28,000 verified reviews from actual customers. To get access to these deals, simply select how many installers you would like firm quotes from after the calculator finishes analyzing your home. If you're not ready to get quoted just yet, you can still get a detailed solar analysis, including cost estimates for your home to keep for you when you're ready. Stop paying
Oops, sorry. Let's get out of this commercial.
How to fly a drone. You will need a drone and a remote control. Step 1. Turn on the drone. Step 2. Turn on the remote control. If required, sync the remote control to the drone. Press the takeoff button.
Gonna head out, GN.
Alright, good night.
Scoop up the drone. Place the drone into a frying pan over medium heat. Melt 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter in the frying pan. Add 1 large chopped onion, 2 diced garlic cloves, 3 diced celery stalks, 3 diced carrots, 1/3 cup all-purpose flour. Cook, stirring constantly for 2 minutes. Add 2½ cups of chicken stock, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of cracked black pepper. Stir. Add ½ cup of heavy cream, 4 cups of shredded cooked chicken, 1 cup of frozen peas, 1
That actually looks
tablespoon
really
of
good.
chopped fresh thyme. Stir until thoroughly combined together. Remove from heat. Transfer the drone into a large pie dish. Place 1 sheet of puff pastry over the top of the drone. Pierce the puff pastry with a sharp knife. Set the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, fan forward. Place the drone in the oven. Bake the drone for 30 minutes. Remove drone from oven. Place on bench top. Turn on the drone. Turn on the remote control. Sync the remote control to the drone. Press the takeoff button.
Okay.
How to make a healthy burger. In a large mixing bowl, add the following: 500 grams of lean beef mince, 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh continental parsley, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 large free-range egg, 1 tablespoon of grated brown onion, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of cracked black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs, 1 tablespoon of tomato ketchup, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Mix together with your hands until thoroughly combined. Divide the mixture into 6 equal round portions. Heat some vegetable oil in a large non-stick griddle pan over medium heat. One by one, cook the beef patties. Press down on the patties with a spatula. Ensure they are roughly 12 centimeters in diameter. Cook until they are medium well done. Remove from heat. Cut your burger bun in half. Place the cooked beef patties on the burger bun. Add another patty. Add another patty. Add another patty. Add another patty. Add butter. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add another patty. Add another patty. Add more patty. Add butter. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add more patty. Add more patty. Add butter. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add another patty. Another patty. Another patty. Add butter. Add cheese. Add cheese. Add another patty. Another patty. Add butter. Cheese. Cheese. Add another patty. Add butter. Cheese. Cheese. Add another patty. Add 4 liters of vegetable oil. Place down the top burger bun. Trying to eat healthy? Remove some of the burger. 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 Still too unhealthy? Cut the burger in half. Cut it in half. Not good enough toppings on the burger? Add lettuce. Add more 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 lettuce. Add eggs. Hit with spade. Smush up with your hands. Pick some up with your spade. Serve on bench top. Still got too many calories? Remove some of the burger. Remove more of the burger. Perfect. Enjoy your healthy homemade beef burger.
No matter where you are in the world, no matter who you are, you need food to survive.
You wait 2 years for me to paint a Space Marine on the channel, and then I paint 2 in 2 weeks. Hey, I'm Guy, you're watching Midwinter Minis, and in this video I'm going to try my best to achieve 3 things. Maybe 4 things. First off, I want to see if I can speed paint a Space Marine. Second, I want to try and match the tone of the Ultramarines from the Space Marine video game, which is a little more realistic and battle-ravaged than the pristine heavy metal style. Third, lots of people ask how my Battle Report buddy Ant paints up as Ultramarines, so I picked his brains and will be using a lot of his batch painting advice for this tutorial. Lastly, we're going to try and raise a bit of money for charity. For a huge upcoming project, Scott the Miniature Maniac asked me to come up with an easy-to-follow Ultramarines guide. So let's kill 4 birds with 1 stone and get on with it. The model I'll be using is this Primaris Intercessor from the First Strike box set, but these techniques should work pretty well on all Space Marine infantry. I tend to find that natural, earthy bases work well with the colour palette of Ultramarine models, so to begin with I applied some texture paint to the base, using a moist brush to wipe away the excess from the feet and rims. Using a rattle can spray, I primed the model black. There are plenty of little secret undersides on the Space Marines. It's better to simply go in after the initial priming with some black paint and catch the tricky bits by hand, rather than clog up the nice details with too much primer. I then added a zenithal prime. I usually do this with a can of white spray paint, but the sky decided to unleash a pretty massive thunderstorm just as I finished the black, so I just airbrushed some white ink from above. Hopefully there won't be random torrential rain when you want to paint your Ultramarines. Okay, prep and prime out the way, let's start the timer and see how fast we can get a decent looking Ultramarine. To take advantage of that nice zenithal prime, I'm going to apply 2 very thin coats of blue paint. In this video, I'll just be using standard terms for colors rather than trying to get my mouth around all the stupid paint names that companies give them, and I'll leave a list of the ones I used and good alternatives in the video description. First coat of thin blue done, a few minutes to dry, time to add another one. Fun fact, ultramarines aren't ultramarine, like the colour ultramarine. It has a rich, subtly purple hue to it. If anything, ultramarine blue is just boring old cobalt blue. Anyway, he's looking pretty nice. As you can see, it's a much brighter, more vivid colour from above, and a darker, murkier colour from below. Now let's add some quick shading. I mixed blue paint, water, and black wash in equal parts to create this blue tinted dark shade paint, and painted the whole model. Well, apart from the gun, but it doesn't really matter if you paint the gun, we'll fix that later. This will seek out the recesses and darken them down even more, but it'll also enrich the colour a bit too. Before it started drying, I used a moist brush just to tap away the excess from the big smooth armour plates that I didn't want to be too stained. Nice! Now we've created a suitably grimdark base layer, let's start bringing the blue back and add a bit of texture while we're at it. Using a bit of ripped sponge, I dabbed some blue paint around until there wasn't much on the edge of it, and then I started tapping the sponge onto the Space Marine's armour. It's starting to look quite interesting. A bit rubbish, but interesting. Let's keep going. I added a tiny bit of white to the blue to create a soft highlight colour, and then started dry brushing all over the model, trying to catch the edges of the armour panels more than just rubbing it all over the flat parts. Okay, time for colour number 2. Gold. Not now, Spandau Ballet. Now let's just get it out there. If you're going to be going fast, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Using your gold paint, try your best to catch the Aquila on the chest armour. Try to attack it from an angle that if you were to accidentally touch anything else, it's the gun rather than the armour. Oh look, I got paint on the armour anyway. Never mind, we can fix it. Let's do the trim on the pauldrons while we've got the gold paint out though. I also think this little cover on the power pack of the Primaris Marines looks pretty cool in gold as well. I then mixed grey and black paint together to make a nice charcoal tone, and I used this to paint the little under armour parts at the back of the knees, around the crotch armour, and also to paint the whole bolter, fixing any accidents you might have made just now with the gold. If your Marine has any little pouches, give them a quick coat of brown paint. If they've been given any of these cute little participation awards, paint the wax part red. And while you've got the red outs, give their eye lenses a quick coat too. Don't worry too much about getting it everywhere, we'll fix up the face armour in a minute. I'm using a size 3 fat round synthetic brush with a hooked tip. I'm sure you can do a better job with whatever lovely detail brush you have. After you're
Kids can't be kids when their clothes don't fit right, and the same goes for their nighttime underwear. That's why Goodnights has new large and extra large sizes that perfectly fit for kids the way they should. Goodnights, now in more sizes for a comfy custom fit.
I step over negative perceptions and create my own path. I am a new cycle.
you're done with the red, mix white and khaki together to create an off-white bone colour, and paint the parchment. If you've got a dedicated parchment or bone colour, just use that though, obviously. Now crack out your silver paint and start catching all of the metal parts. I reckon the underside of the bolter looks pretty good in gunmetal silver, and these little venti things on the power pack, and the underside of the big venti things at the top of the power pack. Okay, so we've got our quick base coats done. Now let's do a quick pass fixing mistakes. Because you're working fast, all the paints that we just used will probably still be wet on your palette, so it should be a pretty quick process. Use blue paint to tidy up any boo-boos you made on the armour. And honestly, if you were in a rush to crack out as many grimdark ultramarines as you could in a weekend, you could just leave it here. It's been tidied up, it looks quite neat, but it still has some pretty cool gritty character to it, and it only took 23 minutes per model. I gave the bases a quick coat of terracotta, basically mixing red and brown together, and rimmed it with black just so you could see how the finished model might start to look. And that's not how the thumbnail looked though, eh? Well, if you want to spend another half an hour per model, there are a few quick effective things we can do, but before that I'd like to give a shout out to the channel's newest patrons. Ere Rantalainen, Jeff Jome, Milo Smink, Eric Housel, Jack Wood, William Boatman, Chris, William Hull, Kelnor, Codename Zero, Chris Ansell, Jacob Hopkins, Eric Sellers, Felix Thomas, McKenna's Miniatures, Graham Strong, Adam Thibault, Michael Maycock, Daka God, Josh Bird, Raleigh Payne, Girth Quake, and Jordan Blythe. Okay, let's give this model a bit more attention and see how far we can take it in less than an hour. I used brown wash to shade all of the gold, red, and brown areas on the model. When you're doing the trim on the shoulder pad, if you intentionally overshoot it a bit, you'll also leave a nice dark border on the pauldron too, which looks pretty great. I then used black wash to liberally shade all of the grey and gunmetal silver parts. If you're going to use transfers on your model, now would be the perfect time to apply them, as future weathering steps will make them look like they're actually part of the pauldron and not big bright designs that have been stuck on after all the fun. The purity seal on this model actually got in the way of the transfer, so I cut it while it was on the model itself. Check me out, living on the edge. After a few minutes, I gave the pauldrons a quick coat of matte medium so that the transfers lost their glossy sheen and blended in a bit better with the surrounding area. Okay, now let's make the gold look a bit more interesting. Mix your gold and silver paints together in equal parts and make sure it's nice and thin and workable, and start to sketch little highlights onto the gold areas. I've started using a detail brush here, as it looks much better to use the edge of your brush on the armor trim. If it's easy to reach, edge highlight with the side of your brush. If it's hard to reach, don't bother. Speed painting is all about economy of effort. You don't need to paint everything perfectly, just a few areas painted nicely will really sell the effect. Now just using your gunmetal silver paint again, lightly catch any prominent metal areas, like the top of the gun barrel and the exposed sticky out bits of the magazine. To highlight the pouches, I mixed a tiny bit of khaki paint into the brown we used for the base coat and just lightly sketched around the raised edges. And using exactly the same bone colour that we used for the original base coat, we're highlighting the raised ripples on the parchment. It's been shaded with brown after all, so even the original colour will still look like a simple highlight. In the same way, you can just use red again to highlight the bumpy wax ridges of the seal. Alright, now using white paint, I'm going to fix that broken transfer. You won't have to do this, probably, but let's keep the timer running anyway. Now using blue paint and just the tip of your detail brush, scratch a few imperfections in the symbols on the pauldrons. This really makes them look like they're actually part of the armour, and they've been worn away during some furious battle. Now if you're brave enough, we're going to do a simple bit of edge highlighting. Nothing that scary, and we can fix any mistakes we might make. But we'll mix a bit of white paint into our blue paint, thin it well, and use this new thin sky blue to lightly catch the edges of a few armour plates. You don't need to do them all, as I said before, just a few here and there really make the armour pop. You can see that I was a bit heavy-handed with some of the highlights here, and the lines are quite thick or wobbly in places. No problem. With your original blue thinned a bit, go back with your detail brush and just refine the lines a little bit, painting from the inside and leaving just a small, thin highlight showing on the outside. Now to give the eye lenses a bit more fire, I mixed a little bit of red paint into yellow, thinned it, and then just using the tip of my detail brush, I just added a tiny smear of this hot orange onto the flat of the lens. I then added just a dot of white at the edges of the lens, just to make them look a bit shiny. To add a little bit of subtle battle damage,
Hey, Peter Neva. Hi, thank you for following. Hope everything's going well with you here. Feel free to just like ask some questions and all that other stuff. I'm usually not very much of a talker person or anything like that, but you know, enjoy the stuff and all that, and everything else.
Yeah, getting there. Now let's give the base some love. A quick dry brush with khaki paint will make it look like a nice, dry, dusty environment. And to really make it look like the hulking superhuman has been tromping and stomping around the place, let's dry brush some of that khaki paint up onto his boots as well. To make it look like some of the dust has settled into the cracks, you can
What are you working on?
Well,
so it starts to break up.
I'm doing a comic book about a superhero with autism. If you want to check out what I have, go down to the website down there, and you can check out
Here's an
calvinitecomics.com.
IPNSS has followed.
Yeah. I'm currently doing a Calvinite. Go to Calvinite Comics to check out my superhero with autism story. I'm on my this is my 5th issue. Feel free to ask me any questions, get to know me a little bit better. I like to chat and all that other stuff.
A couple of thin coats of black around the base rim, and done. To be honest, I'm really happy with how this Ultramarine turned out. It looks pretty similar to the Ultramarines in the Space Marine video game as well, which I'm quite happy about. If you found this useful, please consider liking the video. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. If you're new to the channel, you might want to consider subscribing too. I've got about 80 other videos, most of them covering various
How long have you been drawing for?
with lots of
Couple of
fun
years.
stuff thrown in too. So,
I mean, this is
what's coming next?
basically
What project?
I worked for another artist a few times and get his and work on his stuff. But when I start doing other stuff, I just kind of like get the whole area just like laid out and get it better. Let's see. Let's go into Dr. Rocky's art and we're going to learn about inking. Just kind of like something to listen to.
Vistaprint, your partner in an ever-changing world.
And let's see. I've been drawing for a couple. I can't say like I don't know a couple years or anything like that, but I do a few I just been doing few projects here and there. I did convention and comic work for about like 10 years right now, and just wanted to branch out and do my own work.
Hi guys, my name is Dr. Roque, and in this video I will show you how to ink your drawings properly. You need to have a decent sketch, because the most important thing for a good drawing is a correct sketch. All the best inking will not be enough if the draft is not good. But that put aside, let's start with the video. First, lines. Towards the light source, the lines grow thinner. You can even leave a line open where the light hits the shape directly. In my case, the light comes from this direction. So this line is quite thick here and shrinks when heading towards the light. When using a micron pen, you can vary the thickness of the line by pressure.
Oh, I see. So yeah, he's using a micron pen. Yeah.
Or by using the edge of the pen. If you're feeling confident, you can also use a brush or a brush pen. There are several good brands out there, but in my case, I'm sticking to micron pens, because they are waterproof, and that's important when you want to color your drawing with Copic markers afterwards, because the lines will not smudge when using waterproof pens like microns. Here you can see me demonstrating how some of the other pens are not the best choice when using alcohol-based markers like Copics. Look at the smudge on those three compared to the micron pen I used at the bottom. Also, a very important thing is to move your paper, especially when you're using brushes or quills. But also with fine liners, it's very important to use your advantages, because there's always a movement you feel most confident about. Usually horizontally, because you only have to move your wrist like that. A variation in line width is creating a drawing that looks more alive. It's okay to bend the rules. Sometimes it's best to
Okay.
draw lines from thick to
Now,
thin,
right now,
because they are
I
not
want to go ahead and get this.
invigorate your
I want to
drawing.
go ahead and get the.
I'm curious how you started learning comic art. I just started to learn how to draw a few weeks back as a 27-year-old and have very little idea what I should be learning.
Well, let's see. Well, there's two answers to that question. I could probably say I started when I was a little kid, just doing a whole bunch of just doing a whole bunch of doodles like back in the day, and just like making a whole bunch of like writers workshop, making stories here and there, and just doing all that stuff. Um, and I could probably say I started my day when I was like 5 years old. But then, as I got older, I could probably say I started professionally working under somebody as an artist assistant for roughly about 10 years. It's not the easiest job. I get to get two jobs to cover most of the expenses. And so I would have to just like go in, jump in a whole bunch of different stuff all the time and just kind of like keep make and just like learn how to change my craft to go along with me. Like for example, my one of my techniques that I try to do is like for this one. Like this area would be way too small for me to use a brush, so I would try and like jump in with a micron pen. For example, this would be the 05, for example, and just kind of like fill in my areas right around here. My little secret is I try to get the small stuff first, like the really small details, and then just go into the much bigger part later. And another secret is since I know how to use Photoshop, I can actually just copy one area of the page and paste it to the other side, and just get there and just get the whole area set up right there. And yeah, sometimes I would have to use a ruler, some other little tools here and there, just to get the work down. Thank you for following me. Feel free to just like check out some of my work. If you ever just like decide to just like donate for me for fun, you get a free comic book. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get some water. I'm a little thirsty.
All the best inking will not be enough if the draft is not good. But that put aside, let's start.
No worries.
First, lines. Towards the light source, the lines grow thinner. You can even leave a line open where the light hits the shape directly. In my case, the light comes from this direction. So this line is quite thick here and shrinks when heading towards the light. When using a micron pen, you can vary the thickness of the line by pressure.
Tony Game Dev has followed.
Or by using the edge of the pen. If you're feeling confident, you can also use a brush or a brush pen.
There we go.
In my case, I'm sticking to micron pens because they are waterproof, and that's important when you want to color your drawing with Copic markers afterwards, because the lines will not smudge when using waterproof pens like micron. Here you can see me demonstrating how some of the other pens are not the best choice when using alcohol-based markers like Copics. Look at the smudge on those three compared to the micron pen I used at the bottom. Also, a very important thing is to move your paper, especially when you're using brushes or quills, but also with fine liners it's very important to use your advantages, because there is always a movement you feel most confident about. Usually horizontally, because you only have to move your wrist like that.
Did you start off drawing comics and cartoons or did you transition into it?
Did I start drawing cartoons and no, when I starting as a kid, I always wanted to draw cartoons and just like be an artist any way I can. And for me, when I was younger, I always do like a whole bunch of things called like writer's workshop, and it kind of like fueled my passion for being an artist. A lot of people like will always say I was a good artist. I like to do. You should be. You should commit to this and do all the stuff. And then it's just like why not? Just get in there and just have some fun with it.
Second, shadows. You have to know that every muscle is a three-dimensional shape. And when the light see, a brush pen is perfect to fill in very big areas. And also while doing these, be careful not to work too straight with your shades. Again, it's good to keep the drawing alive with a bit of a sketch.
And so, like, let's see. I mean, I didn't really transition into it. I was kind of born with the whole Calvin and Hobbes type thing, and so I just been doodling and making comic books ever since. Doing professionally, I was not given the same treatment as like other people. Like some other artists were considered gifted before me, and so I had to get myself in the harsh reality of like how the art business really is, and it can be very challenging. A lot of the stuff you do is like will always be like a little bit like will always be having a little disrespect for other people or just working like crazy and on like many hours. And you know, it has a few faults for not all the good reasons.
You can do cross-hatching. Just make the same lines in the opposite direction. Don't make only continuous lines. For a more lively effect, interject some lines from time to time, especially the ones nearest to the light source. Fourth, details. Draw some extra lines with a very small fine liner, parallel to some of the other lines. Then add some dots and little circles and half circles like this. That creates a lively effect. Some scratches like this are also serving this purpose. If you draw metal, you can do some waved lines like this. This way you are imitating reflections on a smooth surface. Fifth, materials. As I mentioned before, micron pens are waterproof, so they are perfect if you want to color your drawing with Copic markers or watercolors. And remember my little presentation from before, where I showed you to be careful with Sharpies and other big area pens, because they could be smudging when coloring the drawing. But you can use a brush tip pen from Micron, because they are also waterproof, and you are able to fill in big areas quite fast. The traditional way of inking would be with a quill or a brush, which is also quite fun to do. But still, my advice is to use mostly pens and fine liners, which is the easiest way. But the most important thing when using a quill or a brush is to really move your sheet of paper a lot to be able to make those dynamic lines. And you have to be extra careful not to smudge the drawing. Okay, that's about it for me. I hope you have been able to learn something. For more stuff like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you for watching, and goodbye!
And let's see. Let's do some more. And let's see. How about we talk to Adam shows the best way of holding a pen.
Are you selling this?
My neighbor is.
It's so fresh. When all you can sushi is think about Postmates. Order from the best restaurants in LA.
Okay.
We create beauty. But not just beauty. Beauty that stands for all people around the world. Beauty that considers nature as its future.
That tool is amazing.
Hmm. Which one? This one? Oh, this is a pilot finder. I mean, basically, here's the cool thing about it. It has once you kind of like get the grip on it, it doesn't have like a really fine tip like a. I mean, the cool thing about it is
The
like,
stencil.
oh, the stencils. You talk about these guys? Oh yeah, these will like save these will save me so much time on the stuff. And sometimes it's a good combination, just kind of like mixing it up a little bit. And so then you just kind of like go ahead.
Did you make that?
The background? Yeah, I did. I'm actually the thing is when I'm doing it when I do the backgrounds is I try to when I did all the backgrounds myself. Like here, give me 1 second. I can probably get out the original. Like here's what I actually did. I copied. I mean, I basically got a whole bunch of like stuff from my SketchUp and just build up the background. So this semi truck, these cars in their position, they're all done by SketchUp, and then I penciled them earlier. Later on, I went through Photoshop, scanned the whole thing, and then just like did it one last time with a did one last time on blue pencil, so then I could actually like go through all this stuff. I do need to do some repairs on the face area because I can't visually see them, and so I could just so I'm going to need to go ahead and fix that up when I get a chance. I used to do a lot of this stuff when I was. 1 second. There we are. And let's see, what tool do I need to use next? Okay, there we go. And one of the cool things I like using about the stencil is I could go really light on it to barely where I get the lines, and then I could go really thick at the same time. And just kind of like really diverse my strokes and everything. I know I still need a lot of practice and a lot of work to get it down, but you know, it's fun to get the lines out there and all that stuff. I mean, a lot of the stuff is basically just me redrawing all my stuff and giving it a little bit more life. And also correcting mistakes that I did earlier if I ever need to.
So you basically have drawn the same comic multiple times to complete it.
Hmm. Pretty much. I might change it up a little bit later.
Of 2 asterisk.
Um, well, this is like the first time I did this, so I basically literally did the whole penciling done, and then I'm trying out a blue line thing. I'm not a big fan of doing it this way because it takes a long fucking time. Like, oh, pardon my language. It just takes a really long time. For some reason, like all this stuff will just like, I mean, it's just like, I literally went through the same paper I mean, went through one paper, scanned it roughly, and then to just like really hard penciling in there, and scan it again to go on this paper. I mean, this would be the process of like if I had 6 or 7 people like on this job, but this is just more solo, so I do a lot of this stuff myself. I've always been wondering if I should ever like probably sell my illustrations and drawn up pages sometimes, but I don't know if I'm at that stage yet where people really recognize my work yet. And yeah. Huh. That's what I need to do a lot more.
virtual hug.
Hey, Diva Mechanic, how you doing today?
So when you're thinking, when you're drawing, okay, you shouldn't be thinking lines. You should be thinking flesh, wood, metal, plastic, whatever it is that you're drawing, air, okay? You should be thinking those things. They're part of a base, they're part of a desk, they're part of a building, they're part of whatever they are. They're not no longer lines. They're the tool that you use to make things. You're not thinking lines, you're thinking things. Metal, a girder, a piece of wood, a door frame. So that when you draw these things, you're not drawing lines. You want in your head, it's almost like I'm not trying to tell you something metaphysical. It's not mysterious. But if you think wood, you draw wood. If you think metal, you draw metal. If you think chair, you draw a chair. It comes out looking more like a chair. And that's what you wanted to do. You don't want to draw lines. You want to draw a chair or a person. Okay. So by using the tools to create the thing that you're drawing, okay, then you're drawing a person. That's what you want to do. You don't. Here's another metaphor. Very often in comic books, you'll see a person's style, and you'll see lines that look like this, or something like that. Starts sharp at one end and thicker at the other. So a lot of Jim Lee's inkers ink like that. So you see a lot of this. And so they ink everything with that line. So the metal they ink with that line, the wood they ink with that line, the trees they ink with that line, the flesh they ink with that line. Pretty soon, it's just a series of those lines. But there are many different lines. There's, for example, a line that starts thick and gets thin. A line that starts thin, gets thick, and gets thin again.
See, there you go. Thick and
A
thin.
line that stays thick all the way through, a line that stays thin all the way through. There's different types. Each one of these are different kinds of lines. Now, if you see somebody who's inking with one kind of line, imagine how much they're stopping themselves from having freedom by not doing all these other kinds of lines. They're only doing that kind of line for everything. They skip to this one, this one, this one, and this one. And they're skipping flow lines. Okay? There's so many things they're missing. So the line that you draw, when you're thinking about practicing lines, you should also practice different kinds of lines. A line that starts thin and gets thick. A line that starts thick and gets thin. Starts thick and gets thin. Thick and gets thin. A line that starts thin and gets thick and gets thin again. Thin, thick, thin, thin. You practice those kinds of lines. It doesn't seem as though practicing lines mean anything, but you're just going to have a bunch of lines on paper. It means everything, because you are finding out your freedom to make the kind of lines that you want to make to do the interpretation of, let's say, the grain on a piece of wood. So you have a piece of wood, okay, and you know the piece of wood looks like that, but you know it has the crack over here because it's a little older wood. Okay, this little nut here. Maybe the pine, maybe the nut, this, maybe a grain of wood. Then it had a good year, so the grain gets bigger. Then it gets thinner again. So you have the grain on a piece of wood. You wouldn't think the grain on a piece of wood means anything until you have freedom to draw all these different kinds of lines. Suddenly it means everything. The more you do it, you can draw the world.
Hmm. That's a nice little video to talk about.
The Hansons are going wherever the open road.
So I also like to watch their let's see, let's pick up my tools. Because I like to drop my tools sometimes because I want to get a specific, yeah, it's 0.005. Probably not going to be able to see that from there. Let me see if I can get closer. There you go. See, look at the size of that. That's like this. That's like super tiny.
So what kind of superpowers does he have?
Basically, this basic stuff. Super flight. Um, he has flight. He can fly. He has super strength, and he shoot lasers out of his hands. Most part of the story, I kind of focus on that he's basically the first person who's been actually diagnosed with autism, and has superpowers at the same time. And so it's more of like a trying to show trying to show the world that he could be a superhero regardless of his disability. And so most of my stuff is trying to like also proving to people that I can actually still make a comic book regardless of the situation I'm in. Most of part of it is because I'm also on the spectrum myself, and so a lot of my challenges is trying to figure out how to get myself in the field and make a living off this stuff. And yeah, I mean it is honestly a challenge. It's not. I mean I don't even think even the pros like will still do this stuff. Let's see. I see. Honestly, if you see that tiny size of that character, it'd be crazy for anyone to like work this small and try to get your characters in there right. Not bad. It's all right. So where are you from?
From California, but living in Japan at the moment.
Oh no shit, man. That's awesome.
Self?
California myself. I'm at Southern California, right near LA on Ventura. But yeah, you're all the way in Japan. That's awesome. What made you want to go all the way down there? So how's it? So what are you
I
doing?
grew up in Orange County, so not too far.
Oh, that's pretty cool. We probably could have been buddies if we.
If is from here and got a job out here.
Ah. So what do you do for a living? Or what does she do for a living? Since you guys are moving together.
She works as a software engineer. I used to be in IT before moving here, but once we moved here I started college full time, so I am just a student now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I remember the college life. That used to be a lot of fun. Very cool that she works at IT. Okay. Well, that's very cool that you're all right. That you're all the way in Japan. What's your favorite thing about it? Actually, the funniest thing is one of my buddies in college is also down there. Is also down in Japan too. You might know him, Peter Molfinger.
That's why I started picking up art recently. Plenty of free time and always wanted to be able to make stylized characters.
Well, I'll tell you this: don't try to do a full-time hobby. Start out small, and whenever.
Japan is cool, but I am ready to move back home to Southern California.
Oh well, whenever you get a chance to do comic conventions, feel free to whenever you come down to comic book conventions, feel free to meet me up. I usually go to a lot of them. I've been to one in Japan though, but I would like to. All right, I think that about does it for me right now. I'm getting tired. So I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you very much for watching my stream, guys. This was actually a very active stream lately, so feel free to like my work. And if you would like to,
Thanks for the stream. Have a good night.
yeah, well, like I said, if you want to support me in any way, just either donate to me or go down to Calvin Nye Comics to check out all my other work and buy my books there. Since you're in Japan, it'll probably be impossible to do a delivery over there, but you could always buy digital comic books. And if there's any issues, let me know. I also got I got a whole bundle of them like ready for like $10. So if you want to donate, if you want to like purchase the whole series thus far. All right, take care.